Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome in. Got another build here for you guys today. This one is the Stamina Arcanist. So, this is a 2 bar build. People kept asking me my buddy Medic kept asking me for my 2 bar build, so I figured out I'll put it out for him. Obviously, we've changed some iterations here. I used to run Deadly Cloak and some other stuff, to make up for damage. We ended up swapping it out and double barring Magical Banner. What Magical Banner does is it increases my magical damage done by 6%, and it also reduces my health, magicka, and stamina recovery by 33%. So we take a big hit with this, okay? But then we get increased weapon and spell damage by 6 for every 1% bonus movement speed up to a maximum of 450. Okay? And then we also get minor berserk, increasing our damage done. Okay? That's what we're rocking on that one. In terms of our gear, I got 1 piece slime crawl. That gives me the extra critical hit chance. And then our first 5 piece, which is on our front bar, we are rocking Deadly Strike. What Deadly does is it gives you 129 weapon and spell damage. It gives you extra critical chance, extra weapon and spell damage. And then it says increasing your damage done with your damage over time and your channeled ability attacks by 15%. So what that is actually doing for us is it is increasing all of our dots from Barb Trap, Caltrops, from our Beam, from our Elemental Blockade, from our Fulminating Rune. It's increasing all that good DOT stuff, right? Even our ult, it's a DOT, so it's increasing all that damage, right? Plus, because our Pragmatic Fate Carver is a channeled ability, we're also getting that further 15%, from that as well. So like we're getting we're getting we're getting it. We're getting it regardless. Like it's really, really nice. Our next set is Anzald Perfected Torment. What this set is doing is increasing our critical hit chance, and then we're also gaining Minor Slayer at all times, increasing our damage done to dungeon, trial, and arena monsters by 5%. And then we get offensive penetration, and then we get more critical chance, where if you take the non-perfected set, you will lose that critical chance. Is it vital? I mean, it's nice, but is it vital? If you can only get into Sanity Edge on normal, by all means, go and farm the normal. It's not a game changer to lose, okay? Like, yeah, you will notice it, but is it mandatory? No. So take that into consideration. And then obviously what this set does is it increases your damage done against monsters. Bear in mind we're already getting 5% because of the minor slayer, right? Now we're getting a further 7%. That takes that to 12%. And then if we bash them again or interrupt these monsters, we gain a further 7% for 10 seconds. So if we do interrupt an enemy, we're at 19% damage done, right? For 10 seconds. Okay? That is just absolutely disgusting. That also being said, we're getting minor berserk increasing damage done by 5%. So if we add the 5% from this as well, that takes that 19% to 24%, which is crazy. It's nice. It's just insane. It's dumb. It's stupid. It's okay. It's not broken. All right. It's just nice. But yeah, our next set is a mythic. So with the mythic, we run Velothi's Mage. This is a fantastic mythic, in my opinion. We get offensive penetration with this 1 piece item. We also increase our damage done. Okay, bear in mind that we're already at 24%. Okay, we also increase that by a further 15%, which is just barbaric. yeah, really dumbfounded, really stupid. So we got a lot of damage done against monsters and trial bosses and all that jazz, right? So super super nice. Um, and then obviously on top of that, we gain minor force at all times, increasing our critical damage done by 10%. Obviously, being a Khajiit, we tinker into critical hit damage, and we kind of want to do crit hit damage and crit damage. So being able to clonk into that by 10% is kind of nice. Obviously, you reduce your light and heavy attacks, the damage by 99%. But hey, for what we get from this one piece, it outweighs that 99% tenfold. Okay, that could be 100%, and it would still outweigh it. Okay, like understand this artifact. This artifact was designed for arcanists. So yeah, really really nice. In terms of our gear ratio, we are 1 light, 6 medium. In terms of my attributes, I am full fledged into stamina, as we are a stamina arcanist. In terms of my weapon damage, obviously you can see that I'm at 5-4, just standing still. If I hit this and then go and hit this guy, we don't really move. So there you go. We go up to 6-1. I forgot about my weapon glyph on my back bar. So we do get quite a lot of damage once we're buffed up fully. So that's super nice. Super cool. Um, what was I going to say? In terms of the traits, we are divines across the board. Okay. Everything is in divines. Everything I would say it is tri-stated, but it is not. So we got a Magicka enchant on our helmet. We've got a Magicka, a Stamina enchant on our shoulders. Sorry, and we got stamina across the board. Okay, everything is stam, and then other than our shoulders, the shoulders is mag. Okay, um, and then I've got Bloodthirsty 3-piece on my jury, and we are rocking weapon and spell damage with stamina recovery on the 2 rings, and then on the mage mythic we have the one what gives us a mag recovery. In terms of my traits for my dual wield, I'm running 1 Nernhoned and 1 charged. The Nernhoned has a flame enchant, and the charged has a poison enchant. And then for the Maelstrom Arena, perfected Inferno Staff, I am running a weapon and spell damage glyph for that extra juicy damage, and that is with an infused, so it increases the effect of that and reduces the cooldown by 50%. So the uptime of that glyph is up a lot more, from the infused trait. So that's super nice. In terms of my blue tree, we are rocking Untamed Aggression. This just gives me extra weapon and spell damage. And then we're running Thermitage. That gives me all my damage, 6% damage done with all my damage abilities. So damage done with the DOT, we're getting that 6% extra from that. So that's increasing my Languid Eye. That's increasing my Blockade. It's increasing my Trap. It's increasing my Caltrops. And it's increasing my Pragmatic Fate Garden. Okay, so it's and technically, if I was to drop a Dawnbreaker, it would increase that too. But we save our ult for Languid Eye on this build. So yeah, it increases all of that. Biting Aura, on the other hand, gives us that 6% damage done with area effects. That is increasing our blockade, our caltrops, our beam, our fulminant in rune, right, and our Languid Eye. So that's increasing pretty much all of that. So that's super nice. And then Deadly Aim is a single target damage done. Obviously, Beam is AoE, but it also is considered single target. Therefore, it is applying extra pressure to the single target. Barb Trap is a single target, so therefore it will increase Barb Trap. So that's super nice too. Fighting Finesse, obviously, with Fighting Finesse, you could probably swap that in somewhere. If you wanted to dig more into the whole Khajiit passives of the critical hit damage and critical healing. I'd say probably drop Untamed Aggression if you wanted that Fighting Finesse. That's probably what I would swap out. I just went with this, and this is what I used to rock. So, yeah. Obviously, with the banner taking 33% of a big recovery hit, I had to make a little bit additional changes, and I ended up just shoving these in. So we've got Siphoning Spells, which gives me mag back whenever I kill an enemy, and then we have Bloody Renewal, which gives me the stam back every time I kill an enemy. So that's super nice to have. And then we have Survival Instincts with 25% reduced cost of reduction. That's just standard. Celerity, standard. We want that 10% movement speed when we're in combat. That's nice. Rationer, Homemaker, Treasure Hunter, and Steve's Blessing is our green tree. And then in terms of our banner and what we have rocking on our banner is obviously Banner Bearer. We take the magic damage. The reason why I take magic damage on the Arcanist is because majority of my damage, what I will be applying to the enemy, will be magic based. Okay? So we take the magic damage because if you read, it says increases magical damage done by 6%. So we're getting an extra 6% for all of our magic damage that we're applying to the enemy. So super nice, super handy, super good. I do take Cavalier's Charge. Another good option could be reduce the cost of sprint, or you could have I don't actually have it on this one, but there is one to reduce the cost of the reduced health, magicka, and stamina. You could run that too. I just went with this because this is my best option of what I've got to offer here. So we went with that, and we went with Minor Berserk. You could go Major Savagery, Major Prophecy, but realistically, I think the Berserk is just overall probably a little bit better. So that's what I went with. In terms of gear, in terms of skills, so obviously if we start on our front bar, obviously you want to have Magical Banner on both bars. Okay, so that's going to be on both bars regardless. But in terms of our skill, we are taking Barb Trap, Caltrops, which will morph into Razor Caltrops for that major breach. Okay, and then we take Celheliarch's Flail. I don't know if I butchered that. I probably butchered that, but it's okay. We take that as our main spammable, and then we execute the Cruxes with our Pragmatic Fake Carver, and then we take Dawnbreaker for that increased ultimate gain, from the fight skill passives. And then we take Fumalite and Rune on our back bar. Well, all this is doing is you put this on an enemy. If you kill that enemy or do severe pressure to the enemy, they will just blow up and do a ton of enemy extra damage to other enemies. On top of that, people can actually activate a synergy from this, dealing extra frost damage. But as you can see, that this is actually scaling from magic damage, and it does magic damage. So even though that it does frost damage, it's still doing magic damage. So having the banner do that 6% magic damage is actually increasing this up by 6%, which is nice. So yeah, nice to have. Elemental Blockade on our back bar. Obviously, we do have the Inferno Staff, so that would be Blockade of Flyer. All that's doing is just doing extra magic fire damage. If I go onto this bar, we can see it properly here. As you can see, slam a floor, create flaming barrier in front of you, dealing flame damage. So burning enemies take 10% more damage from this ability. So because we have a flame glyph and we have this, that flame glyph will get busted up by an extra 10%. Plus, if I reapply this and they're already burning, they're taking that 10% increased damage. Okay, so super nice, super handy. Resolve and Vigor is our heal. Typically, you could rock that, or if you want it to be a little bit more magico orientated, I guess you could say. You might feel sustain issues if you did this, but you could run sages with resolve. You could run this. This could be another option for you guys. That's entirely up to you. I just went with this as I just find this just so much more easier to sustain. You know, and it just is what it is, right? Um, and then our last ability is recuperative treaties. So what this does is it gives us extra major brutality, so it increases our weapon and spell damage. But on top of that, what it also does is it does, once again, magic damage. Okay, so that's getting scaled from our barrier. On top of that, it's also restoring magic and stamina, and it generates our crux. So very handy to use, very handy to have. And then obviously our last ultimate, which is our main ultimate, what we use is Languid Eye. So yeah, let's go ahead and do a little quick pass for you, so you can kind of understand and get the gist of how we actually pull damage here. I'm just going to do a plain rotation, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my ult and see if we can hit that 100k peak. Okay, so we're just going to go in normal. We're going to start the fight normal. Boom, boom, boom. And we'll pop this one up. Yeah, we'll hit that one again. Boom. I'm going to hit that. And then we're going to come back in. And I'm going to hit this. So as you can see, like normal rotation, we're hitting about 70 to 80k, which I don't think is too bad. I'm obviously very rusty. And that is just what it is. I'm not the best player in the world, and that's okay. And now what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and hit that 100k from the get-go. My treaties isn't counting. Once again, this game is so fucking laggy, and it annoys the shit out of me. I hate when it does this, because I know that I can hit 100k, and I'm going to prove it. And we can stay here until we do prove it. It was a lag desync once again, because we hit like 98k there. So I know that we're getting there. We're getting there now. There's a desync. There's a desync going into my thing. I keep getting desync going into the beam, and it's kind of really annoying, because if I don't get desynced, it's 100k every time. Note that I do play from the UK, and I'm playing on PCNA, so there is a desync. Okay. There's the 100k, dude. Okay. So I know I can hit it. I know I can hit it. We hit it. And that's all that matters. So yeah, this build's pretty cranked up. It's pretty strong. I definitely enjoy playing it. You know, if you didn't want to run barrier, I would say maybe go back to kind of roughly what we were rocking beforehand, which you would drop that, obviously. Caltrops wasn't a thing. And then you would run back and obviously you would reslot this. And you would reslot Camouflage Hunter. And then on your bat bar, what I was running was Impervious Room Ward. That's what I had originally. That was the 2 bars originally. In terms of that doing damage, if we just do a normal rotation. That is still pulling like 90 odd K. Okay. So like the damage is there regardless to whatever way you want to play. Okay. But I quite like the idea of the banner. So therefore we are going to be rocking the banner from now on. So yeah, that is just the way that is going. Let me switch all this back. Support, boom. That can go there, that can go there, and then boom. So yeah, I'm just going to be rocking banner from now on this build. So I hope you all enjoy it. Go and try it out for yourself, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.